Hey everybody. So one of the biggest reasons I started this channel is because I found myself frustrated that there were so many great stories where the footage and backstory are just way too complex to properly cover on a forum like my main channel, Public Freakouts Unleashed, where I show lots of stories in each episode. But I would often find myself coming across stories, much like the one I'm about to share with you now actually, where the important footage of the event is long and often requires background and context that simply makes Public Freakouts Unleashed an inappropriate venue. Frankly, so many stories have fallen by the wayside over the years of me doing this due to their just complexity and length that you guys would have loved, that I almost get a little sad when I think about everything that I had to skip over, that I didn't get to feature. But because of The Reckoning, I'm now able to cover stories just like this one, or Apartment Karen and her boyfriend, for instance, in the way that they actually deserve. So that being said, the events that transpired at this laundromat were very dramatic, leading to a woman who was deemed Laundromat Karen in this story even calling the police on our main character. They show up in later clips. We have it all, so don't worry. But it all starts with a dispute over who's entitled to use a dryer at this, let's face it, rather run-down laundromat in Boulevard, Missouri, which is simply called Boulevard Laundry. And I was able to determine with certainty that this was the right laundromat by cross-referencing the laundromats in Boulevard with the surrounding geography in Google Maps. You'll notice the angle of this building here and the sign in this frame here that shows the U.S. Bank across the street. Anyway, this was the clip of the initial interaction between our main character and this story's Karen, the first of many.
In a public ad. Cool, lady. Whew. Karen, man.
What is that?
A Karen? You. Someone being a for no reason.
And you have no respect for anybody. I can see that.
I didn't say anything. I was doing my laundry. You were outside or wherever the you were.
Why are you cussing so much?
Because you came in here and started some shit. You came in here.
Cuss.
Karen, your clothes are in the wash machine. You're not even using a dryer.
Disrespectful witch.
Yeah, because staring at someone standing on the other side of a table, staring at somebody is not being disrespectful.
No.
And then you're like, oh, you check my dryers.
No.
When there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there's like
So
8 of them down there. Why didn't you?
Why didn't you?
Why did not you?
Because you're the one that's drying first, not me.
So what's the
pressure?
So then what's the problem here?
So our story's Karen here is accusing our main character of stealing her dryers, meaning she took the dryers that this woman was planning to use. As she mentions here, she's washing her clothes right now and hasn't even started the drying process. She's worried about her ability to dry them in the future, despite the fact that we hear the main character point out that there are, I think she counted 8 dryers open and available while they're having this argument. The fact is that this woman wanted a specific dryer, probably because it was closer to where her clothes were being washed.
No, lady. Don't even.
Put your phone up.
Nah. You know, it's a First Amendment right that I can record.
Do you work?
Yeah, I do. Do you?
I'm retired, but I've worked for long.
Yeah, they probably thought you were
And you're not.
Oh, no, I'm a bitch. I know I'm a bitch.
Well, that's not really something to be proud of.
I'm not the one that came in and started problems.
You are saying that you're.
You came in and started problems over some dryers.
Why are you interrupting me?
Because you came in here. Because you came in here.
That is not a
You
good reason.
came in here. I have it all on recording. Would you like to see it? You came in here. You came in from outside. You stared at me and then said I took your dryers when your clothes are in the washing machine.
Okay, are you done?
Nah, because you're gonna go viral, sweetheart.
You'll notice that our story's Karen doesn't actually dispute our main character's, characterization, I guess, of the sequence of events that were just laid out here. She doesn't dispute the fact that she's still only washing her clothes and doesn't yet require a dryer. I'm having fun with alliteration today, if you couldn't tell, yet decided to come over and confront our main character for using open dryers that she, for some reason, felt entitled to, despite the fact that there are a ton of other dryers that are still open. Even after tacitly admitting, by way of not challenging, that these were the facts of the case, she still proceeds to point at our main character and declare her the problem. Now, certainly everyone could have handled this a whole lot better, but come on now. Alright, so at this point, part 2 picks up, and it seems some more debate has happened in between, and things have escalated, because now our main character's stepdaughter becomes involved, and Karen says something that only enrages our main character, and also now her stepdaughter, even more. She tells these women to go back to where they came from, and while their dialogue immediately after seems to hint that she was making a comment about out-of-towners, the possibility that the intent was driven by this woman's racial bias or animus can't be entirely discounted either. That's certainly the way our main character and her stepdaughter took it.
Yeah, why don't you go back to where you came from? Where we came from?
Is that racist? That's definitely being a racist comment.
You being
But
racist as... Is that like Pleasant Hoe? Is that where you're from?
Nah, bitch.
Here, genius. We live here.
We live in Bolivar, the same place you do.
I know it's surprising because I'm black and there's not very many black people.
No, you started it.
For no reason.
You
Because
came
as soon
in
as I
here.
was here, right, I get here to start.
How long is it gonna take you to dry your clothes? Those were my dryers. You started some shit with the wrong people. Call the cops then.
I am.
Go ahead. You're not. You're texting. 911, lady. That's the cops. If you're in real danger, 911.
So this has escalated to the point now where they are daring our story's Karen to call the cops on them, to have the cops resolve this ever-escalating dispute. And I want to note, so that there's no confusion, this next part says part 4, but it is actually the third part recorded after this. It's just a re-upload of it. The original was taken down. We're not sure why.
You are absolutely idiot.
How? What did I do? What am I doing?
Right there.
It is my First Amendment right.
It is my First Amendment right to say what I want to say, too. You know what? You need to start reading and get off your phone.
She apparently somehow hasn't heard yet that you can actually read things on your phone.
What is your deal? Like, come
What
on.
is yours?
What is
Tattoo
yours?
girl.
I'm tattooed, so what's your problem, though? I have tattoos. I'm still a person.
So am I.
But you came at me.
I did not.
You came at.
The footage cuts here, and I have to wonder why. What was said between these two that OP didn't feel the need to include. I always have to wonder that in these scenarios. But it picks back up with her on the phone with the police.
Dryers. Unfortunately, yes. Any other calling me racist because they're giving me...
Because you asked my kid who's black that she needs to go back to where she belongs. You told my kid who is black that she needs to go back to where she belongs. That's not racist?
Not what happened.
That is what happened. I have it all on recording. You know what? Just get the cops here because of what
I'm the one causing trouble. Yeah.
So you hear her kind of again try to say, you know, I just meant the city. I wasn't trying to talk about, like, go back to your country type stuff. I don't know if that's actually true. She might just be covering her own butt here.
Get out there quick.
Oh, good.
No. Wash my clothes.
So now the police have officially shown up to this raggedy laundromat to solve the dispute about who was supposed to have rights to use the dryer first. You can't make this up.
This lady comes in out of nowhere as I'm putting my clothes in the dryer, stares at me, and she keeps staring at me, and I'm like, can I help you? And she was like, those were the dryers I was going to use, and you just took them. Okay, your clothes are in the washing machine, ma'am. And then she just goes ballistic. I have it all on recording.
Okay.
So,
Hey,
I don't know what...
person at?
She's in there. standing in there waiting for
You got
you.
an ID on you?
For what? What did I do?
Because we got a call for service for 911, so we have to ID everybody when we're conducting
But
an
what did I
investigation.
do?
Because I am IDing everybody that we're conducting.
But am I
an
in
investigation.
trouble?
I need to ID you, so then that way I can put you in the call. So you're not in trouble. I just have to ID
I don't
everybody.
think I should have to pull my ID out for something that I didn't do. I didn't get the service call.
Okay, but I'm here, so I have to ID everybody.
Not break the law, so you don't need my ID. Is Missouri a stop and ID state?
Yeah, it is.
And you know, I'm actually not sure that it is, Mr. Officer, because yes, Missouri is a stop and identify state, but at the same time, it's normal for there to be some suspicion of a crime committed in order to identify parties. And since no crime has even been alleged here, I'm not actually sure that she does have to show him ID.
She's lucky I wasn't here when she said that.
Stupid. I didn't call. Thanks for taking out my right?
I just can't believe it.
Over a
Anyway, have
dryer.
a good one.
Thank
yeah.
you too.
There's that back for you.
Thank you.
I would have went into her. I wish I.
Oh, I did.
Yeah,
I
good.
did, and she called the cops.
Yeah. She called them.
She called the cops. She called them because I got loud,
Now you gotta identify
and now I have to identify myself.
right there.
Yeah, right? Right?
At this point, they go and take a statement from our Karen. It's impossible to discern what they're saying, though, so I've skipped over it.
I didn't do anything, so I don't know why you think I'm gonna get in trouble.
We're doing this.
It's my First Amendment right. I can record it. It is the First Amendment right. How old are you? You should know your amendments.
So we're moving into part 5 now, and a good chunk of this next part is a confrontation between our main characters and the other police officer, not the one who just did the whole ID thing, but about the fact that she got ID'd, and apparently our Karen did not.
All a waste of time over some dryers. When your clothes aren't even washed, and they're not even done, you still have 18 minutes. Do you not, let me ask you a question, you don't think this is all ridiculous? No, really.
It's a lack of respect.
The lack of respect, you came at me.
Never mind. I'm not even going to discuss it with you.
No, I'm trying to be a civil person.
you're not.
I am.
No,
How
you're
am I not? How am I
You're
not? I was not being a civil person before.
Would you be able to just get an ID out of your car and send what I ran this time?
You didn't do anything. You don't need an ID. They shouldn't even ID'd me because I didn't break a law. But I didn't break a law. Didn't break a law. I shouldn't have had to ID myself.
It's not necessarily. You don't have
I know
to
my rights.
break the law to
I know my rights.
ID. Okay.
But I didn't do anything. I'm not even the one that made the service call, so why do I have to be ID'd?
So at the end of the day, what would you like to have happened?
Is Karen not to go off on me for using a public dryer?
Okay.
That's what I would have really liked, but obviously this is where we're going to be at today.
Okay. What crime has been committed so far?
That's what I want to know. What
Okay.
crime has been committed for me to
So
be
in the
ID'd?
event that a crime has been committed on her part, would you want to identify as a victim?
Yes, then
Okay.
okay, but that I see is
Then
probable cause, but you didn't even ask her ID first. You asked my ID first.
he asked for your ID.
Okay.
I came in here and got her
Yes,
side of the
okay.
story.
Let me
You'll notice rather pointedly that this police officer says, I came in and got her side of the story, not I came in and got her ID, which is the whole point that our main character is trying to make here.
Yes, he asked for my ID. And then when I gave him my ID, not only was he a jerk and ripped it out of my hand,
Okay.
but I shouldn't have had to ID myself. I didn't make a service call. I know my rights, but I'm not going to argue with this.
You didn't make a service call.
I didn't make the call. I didn't make the 911 call.
Okay. Who did make the call?
She did. That lady, the one who has been the problem from the beginning.
Okay. My dispatch doesn't tell me who does and does not make the call. I just get told to come out here because of a dispute in progress.
Can I ask one question?
Go ahead.
Why, since when does the laundromat assigned your dryers? Just because she is washing her clothes there, she has to wash them here?
I
We've
don't
been
know.
here many times. There's never been a assigned dryer washer thing.
So, again, I'm not familiar with any sort of laundromat etiquette. She's saying that she believed that because her box was in front of these dryers, it was it's supposed to go to her.
Nope.
I don't know anything
Witness
about
anything?
What?
Did you witness anything happening?
Yeah, I witnessed her
Right,
telling
you got
me
your
to
ID.
go back to where I belong.
So, 3 things here. One, I find it weird, right, that these police officers felt the need to identify her, but not the other woman. And you could say maybe it was because she made the call, but as this guy just revealed a second ago, he still doesn't, after talking to both of them, know who had initially placed the call. So that's not it. They just decided to ID our main character here, but not the Karen. For what reason, we don't know. Second, there was no determination at any point that any crime had been alleged, let alone committed. So the possibility that someone had committed a crime being the probable cause for asking for ID doesn't make sense either. Beyond the ID stuff, though, you can tell by this point in the interaction, this guy even goes out of his way, ma'am, I don't understand proper laundromat etiquette. I'm not an expert in laundromat etiquette. These police officers are exasperated and confused about why they would even be here in the first place. This seems a total waste of their time. So finally, in part 6 here, the police officers, having gathered all of the facts of this harrowing case, have reached a verdict, and they're about to break it to Karen, and it is pretty damn funny.
So I guess I'm going to try to help mediate where we go from here. I've used a laundromat in the past. Me and my wife, when we were in college, we came to laundromats all the time. I'm not familiar with any sort of etiquette on installing washers and dryers or anything like that. I don't know about it. I guess I'm confused on what the difference between these 2 dryers are to the dryers down here.
Exactly. That was my exact question.
Okay, so in case you missed what was just said, the police officer asks our story's Karen, I really am confused about what the difference is between these dryers right here, meaning the dryers she was so upset about, and these dryers right over here, and then motions, we can only guess, to the milieu of available other dryers that she could have used. And our main character goes, right, that was literally my point the whole time. And you'll see that in response to the police officer saying this to Karen, all she can do is shrug.
These 2 dryers are to the dryers down here.
Exactly. That was my exact question. That's not to you. That's not to you. Every one of those were open.
Okay, but
These were open too. They were, and your clothes were in the washing machine.
What makes these 2 dryers so special?
I think you've got a problem.
So instead of admit that she's wrong in the face of now the police officer also asking her the obvious question, why do you care so much about these ones? She now, because she still cannot answer that question, accuses the police officer of having a problem with her too.
Because when I told you that when I saw them out there, you said, well, what's wrong with 2 girls out in the car?
What is wrong with us sitting out there? We are people just like you. What makes you so special that you get these 2 dryers?
I'm gonna sell this really, really fast. So they're dryers. There's
Exactly.
however many X amount of dryers. It's a safe space, and that way everybody just goes about their business, and we can go answer more calls for service.
That's fine.
Calls that are important.
People just go and use the dryers that they need to use. Stop arguing over dryers. It's a dryer. So just leave it alone. Plain and simple. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Well, that resolved a lot.
That right there is the look of a person grappling with cognitive dissonance. She made such a big stink over this. She was so certain she was right, and that she could BS her way through this entire cop interaction and get our main character into trouble and feel vindicated, that when she's faced with this outcome, it's just too much for her to swallow. She's forced to fall back on every remaining weapon she has in the 11th hour, including going so far as to accuse the police officer of having a personal vendetta against her as well. But most importantly, she never, at any point, provided an answer to the central question of the case. Why did you feel entitled to those dryers, and why couldn't you use any of the other completely open dryers available to you anywhere else in this laundromat? She just can't seem to believe that the universe, in fact, doesn't revolve around her. Now, obviously, no one was punished in the traditional sense here. I doubt that this woman is going to lose her retirement over this, and she doesn't have a job. But given the overwhelming pettiness of this entire scenario, the police delivered smackdown of her entire argument in front of everyone was incredibly satisfying to me. Okay, I just wanted to cover this one because I thought it was a lot of fun. I've got a big story for everybody. It'll be done either tomorrow or Wednesday. We'll see how quickly it all comes together. Stay tuned for that. I will see you later.